Welcome to section 9.1, linear equation and one variable. So what I mean by linear equation and one variable is that you're going to have an equation that only has one set of variable. For example, here you only have one variable, which is the x. Now, in this chapter and the sections that we're going to cover on later on, we're going to also be covering two variables, meaning that you're going to have two letters within an equation or a given inequality. But for this section, 9.1, we're just going to focus on an equation that just only have one variable or one letter. In this case, in this first example, we have this equation where it's just only x. Alright, so let's focus on the first example. It's pretty straightforward. To solve 5x plus 7 equals to 11, you want to get 5x by itself. So all you gotta do is subtract the 7 on the left and then subtract 7 on the right. You gotta do the same operation. So 5x equals to 11 minus 7, which is 4. And then in order to get x by itself, I'm going to divide because the 5 is directly in front of x. So divide by 5, divide by 5. So therefore, my answer is x equals 4 over 5. So that's going to be our final answer. And let me box that up. Alright. In example 2, we have 4/3 x minus 7 equals negative 7. Sorry, 4/3 x minus 5 equals to negative 7. Alright, so just like before, I want to cancel out the minus 5, so I'm going to add 5 on the left, add 5 on the right. So I'm going to have 4/3 x equal negative 7 plus 5 will be negative 2. Now since this one we have a fraction, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to multiply both sides by 3, so that way when I multiply the left side, these two will divide into 1, and I'm just going to have 4x. So again, since I multiply by 3 on the left, I'm going to multiply by 3 on the right. So it's going to be negative 6 on the right. And then after that, I'm going to divide by 4 to get x by itself. And again, I'm dividing by 4 because that's the number in front of x. When I do that, then I'm going to have x equal to negative 6 over 4. But I am not finished because I can simplify this fraction by 2 because 6 and 4 are both even numbers. So my final answer is x equals negative 3 over 2. And then let me box that up. So again, my final answer is x equals negative 3 over 2. Alright, in our third example, on the left side we have 3 multiplying x plus 4, as you can see from the parenthesis, and the 3 is right in front of the parenthesis. On the right side we have 6x plus 5. So here we're going to be distributing the 3 on the left, but also remember that we have variables on both sides. When you're solving, you just want to get variables on one side. Most of the time you can have it on the left, or sometimes you can have it on the right side, as long as you have variables on one side, numbers on the other side. Alright, so in this example, let's start off with distributing the 3 to the x and to the 4. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times positive 4, so positive 12 or plus 12 equals to 6x plus 5. Alright, so here, sometimes, or most of the times, you can have x on the left side, or sometimes you can have x on the right side. But again, most of the time we're going to have x on the left. Doesn't matter to me, as long as you have variables on one side, numbers on the other side. So say I want my x's on the left of the equal sign, so I'm going to cancel out the 6x from the right, so minus 6x on the right side and left side. since I'm getting my variables on the left, that means I want to get my numbers to the right. So that means I want to cancel out the plus 12 from the left. So minus 12 on the left, and then minus 12 on the right. So when I do that, I'm basically doing two steps at once. So this is going to be less work for me to write. So my 6x cancel out on the right, and then on the left, 3x minus 6x would be negative 3x. My 12s will cancel out from the left side, and then on the right, it will be 5 minus 12, which is basically negative 7. Now from there, I'm going to divide by negative 3, because that's the number in front of x. And then x will equal negative 7 divided by negative 3. To simplify, will be simply positive 7 over 3. And that will be our final answer. And let me box that up.